She brings joy to every girl and every boy. Appalonia, the amazing storyteller.
Good evening, little ones. It's me, Appalonia. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. And as you know, on a Sunday evening, we read a story from the Bible. This one's called The Baby in the Basket. What happened is that Joseph's family, they were Israelites. They came to Egypt and they made it their home. Years went by and the family, the nation, grew really large. The new king, when he noticed, he was not happy. He had no regard for Joseph. He didn't care about Joseph. All he knew is that these Israelites were growing and he had to put a stop to it. But this story is about the baby in the basket. So listen carefully. The king of Egypt frowned. He frowned at the floor. He frowned at the ceiling. He frowned at his courtiers. "I've been thinking," he said, "and I'm not happy." The courtiers all tried to look helpful. An unhappy king always meant bad news for someone. And they didn't want the someone to be them. Can you blame them? "Those people that live in the land," he said, "the ones called the Israelites, they bother me. What if they decide to gang up against us with some of our enemies? There are too many of them. We need to do something. We need to stop them breeding." "Let's make them slaves," suggested someone helpfully. "We need lots of slaves to build the beautiful cities you want, and slaves don't last long. The work kills them." "Good idea," said the king. "Make it happen." And so the Israelites became slaves. But the Israelite people were strong. They didn't all die. In fact, the women still went on having lots of babies. Soon there were even more of them. The king scowled. He scowled at the floor. He scowled at the ceiling. And he scowled at his courtiers. "I've been thinking," he said, "and I'm not happy." The courtiers all tried to look helpful. An unhappy king always meant bad news for someone. And they didn't want the someone to be them. Here we go again. "The Israelites are still breeding," he said. "So here is the new improved plan. From now on, all of their newborn baby boys must be thrown into the river Nile." Wow. The king's soldiers followed his cruel orders. But one particular Israelite woman was determined that her baby boy would not die. For 3 months she kept him hidden in her home. Then she needed a new plan. And her daughter Miriam was eager to help. First, the mother made a large basket. She covered it with tar to make it waterproof, like a little boat. She put the baby safely inside and carried it down the river. There among the reeds she hid her little son. "I'll keep watch," promised her daughter Miriam. "I'll stay just close enough to make sure nothing awful happens." While she was watching, the king's daughter came along with her servants. "This would be a lovely spot to bathe," Miriam heard her say. "With all these reeds around, we can be sure no one is watching us." Oh. Ooh. She stopped talking and peered into the reeds. "There's a basket in here," she said. "Can you go find out what's in it?" A servant waded in and brought out the basket. "You'll never guess," she began. "A baby!" exclaimed the princess. "Oh, and he's crying." She picked him up and she rocked him. It must be one of the Israelites' babies. Some clever mother is trying to save her baby from being killed. Oh, he's gorgeous. I think I'm going to keep him. Miriam shyly stepped forward. I know someone who could nurse that baby for you, she said. I could fetch her right now if you want. That is convenient, said the princess with a smile. Yes, please. I'd like you to go and fetch that person at once. Miriam ran all the way home. She came rushing back with her mother, who had never ran so fast. Can you raise this baby for me? The princess asked. I'll pay you, and then when he's a bit more grown up, I'll adopt him. The princess smiled again. The little girl smiled even more, and guess what? The baby's mother smiled most of all. So, it's a short story. So we've got to the part now where she looks after the baby. She feeds the baby, the mother feeds the baby, and the princess looks after him. She calls him Moses in the end. And he's the one that led the Israelites through the Red Sea. I hope you enjoyed that story. You have a blessed evening, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, good night. God bless.